Hey loves, I'm back with another video, and this time this video is all about me. Yes, I'm going to show you how I created that look. And right now I have clean, fresh face. I'm using my e.l.f. primer, the spray one, and I just OD'd on it. I'm taking this brush, just like a stippling brush, and just pressing that in. And then I'm going in with my LA Girl concealer. I've already penciled in my brows just a little bit. I kind of did that off camera. And so now I'm just going to clean it up with this little small flat brush. And this is actually Sunday morning, so I'm on my way to church. I am literally in a rush, but I thought at the last minute, why not go ahead and film? And I try not to do a shade too light or too bright. For Sundays, I like to look like I have on makeup, of course, but not like a face beat. Like, I don't want to look like the turn up, you know what I mean? I just kind of want to look sophisticated and classy, but definitely wanted to be known that I did a little something to the face. So I just dabbed a little bit right above the brow. I want the brow to still be soft and not necessarily on fleek, but more natural looking. And then this is a e.l.f. duo brush. One is for lashes and the other side is actually for your eyebrow. And so I'm just going to use that just to kind of blend in the pencil and help it lay right. And this is an H&M palette. I bought this when I was out of town. It had some great colors in it. I said, hey, I'll give it a try, see how opaque it is. And the colors, they're decent, they're fair. Right now I'm just using this as my transition color. And I'm just going to go all over my upper lid, not really below the crease, but more so above the crease up to the eyebrow bone. So after adding that, I'm going to go in with a little bit of a darker shade. And now I'm going to put that right in the crease. And I'm just using like a little round, fluffy brush, like a little round dome brush. And I'm just darkening that crease just a little bit. I'm going to slightly do a cut crease, you guys. Nothing too extravagant. Just enough to kind of let my shadow pop. Then I'm going in with this flat brush. And I'm going to go right in the outer V. And I'm putting that black color you saw in there. And then I'm blending it out with that same fluffy brush. And the two shades that I added prior, my transition color, I used the same brush. So I did not switch out brushes until now. So now I'm just sticking that just kind of in my crease. I don't want anything too harsh. This is literally about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. So I don't want my makeup to look like evening makeup as well. Still want it to look daytime fresh. So I'm just blending that in. And coming just a little further into my crease. Remember, blend, blend, blend. So that's what I'm doing again. And y'all have to see my London pillow. It's the cutest thing. Okay, anyway, back to the makeup. So now I'm using this flat tip brush. It's like a concealer brush. And I'm actually going to use this to carve out a light cut crease. So nothing too extravagant. Usually I use my NYX Jumbo White pencil, but I don't want the shadow to be very, very vivid. I do want it to stand out though. My hair is already a bright red. I'm going to be wearing a very bright blue dress, excuse me. And so I didn't want my eyes to just kind of be like overkill and kind of have like a clown effect, if you know what I mean. So I just needed enough just to kind of mute out my eyelids and then give the added shade a little bit of a pop. I hate putting on my makeup in a rush because it seems like it takes me even longer. Any other time I could cut this crease like no problem, but just because I was in a rush, oh my gosh, it wasn't sticking, it wasn't laying, it just wasn't doing anything that I needed it to do. So the struggle was really real here. So now I'm going in with this lighter shade, and I'm going to be putting this on my brow bone with this little fluffy brush. And I'm just going to sweep that back and forth just to add a little bit of a highlight. And then one of my favorite palettes. I got this palette a long time ago. I don't even remember from where. But I'm going to go in and I'm going to put this blue, like a royal blue, but more like a, I don't know what color blue to kind of call this, because it's almost as deep as the shirt that I have on, which I would say is royal blue, but it's a little bit lighter than that. So I'm just going to put this in the outer lid, and then I'm going to flip the brush over, and I'm going to go just a tad bit darker right there in that V again. And that was to darken the color because it wasn't quite as dark as I wanted it. Okay, now with another little fluffy brush, I'm going to go in and grab this color right here, and I'm going to put this on the center part of my lid. And I edited it out, but I had put the color that I was putting on my brow bone, I missed and put it on my actual lid. And so this color would not come off, or it just wasn't blending well after. That same lid right there, yeah. I put it on there, and so when I tried to add this blue, the two just was not working. It did fine for this lid, but this lid right here, oh my gosh, it just gave me such a hard time. So I'm going in with my liquid liner, or gel liner I should say, and I'm going to line this very quickly. And you can see where that blue shade really didn't pick up. No matter how many coats I applied, it just wouldn't do it. I wet the brush and it was still just the same. I probably really needed to actually wipe the other shade off and start over. But of course, I did not have time to do that, so I just had to go along with it. So, it didn't really give me the color I was going for, but this will have to do. So I'm going in now with this gel liner. And it just, I don't know what was going on. My eyes were just giving me trouble this particular morning. So now I'm going in with my Fenty Cosmetic foundation. Absolutely love it. It is pretty thin though. It's a liquid. So you want to make certain that if you need to cover blemishes or things of that sort, that you do a second, and for some people even a third coat. But I'm going in with this stippling brush. I felt like when I used the sponge, which is usually what I prefer to use, I just felt like it was just eating too much of the makeup or absorbing too much of the makeup. So I've been using a brush instead, and I feel like the coverage is a lot better, a lot smoother, and I save on a lot more product. So as with your eyeshadow, with your foundation, you make sure you blend, blend, blend. You must get that jawline and around the hairline, near the ears. All of that must be blended for a flawless look. Now on a smaller brush, I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit of foundation right up under my eye. And this is prior to adding my concealer. And this is just because I had a lot of that blue fallout. So I kind of want to mute it a little bit before I put my concealer, just so that the two shades, my eyeshadow and the concealer, don't run together, and then my concealer ends up looking kind of like a dingy tint. So that's why I'm going under with this brush. Had I not been doing blue eyeshadow, I would have skipped that step. So now I'm going to go in my LA Pro concealer, and I'm going to put that right up under my eye. And I'm not going too far down. Again, this is not a club night or a party night. Just enough to kind of brighten me back up. I noticed that with that Fenty, once it oxidizes, it's really dark. If you can see there, it's gotten a lot darker than what it originally was. And so now I'm using the Fenty concealer on top of the LA Pro, and this is in caramel, I believe. No, latte. It's in latte. The caramel was too much of my natural skin tone, so I had to go up a shade, and latte was a perfect fit. So now I'm just going in with a foundation flat brush, and I'm blending that out. Usually I use my sponge for this as well, but because I had the two, I just went ahead and used my brush. I just feel like I blend better when I'm using two different consistencies with the brush as opposed to with my sponge. Okay, so now I'm going to dip this fluffy brush into this Sacha Buttercup, and I'm going to go ahead and set my concealed area, and I'm using a very light coat, nothing really heavy. Again, I'm still trying to look daytime, I'm still trying to look flawless, but I'm not trying to overdo it. So very light coat. Now with my Fenty contour in Mocha, I believe it is, I'm going to go ahead and carve out just a little bit right above or right below my cheek, and I do along the jawline, down the bridge of my nose, and then the other areas as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and wipe off or brush off the Sacha Buttercup that I had there, because again, I'm not really trying to bake. I'm just trying to set. And I'm going to do that and then go ahead and blend out my contour. And I'm using this little small, it's actually an angled brush. I love this little brush. And I'm checking my watch. You see, I know I'm pushing it, but I'm trying to hurry. Okay, with this fluffy brush, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to blend out my contour around my hairline. And I'm going to leave that relatively dark. And then I'm going to go in with this angle brush and do my cheeks and my neckline. And I'm kind of doing a circular motion. I don't know if you can tell here. And I'm going upward. But when I do my jawline, I do the same motion, but I go downward. You know, got to hide that double chin. Yes. So I'm blending that out and upward, and I know that my contour looks really harsh right now, and that's fine because once we add our all over setting powder, and mine is Makeup Forever, it'll all blend together. So this duo palette I'm using, it has a dark brown and a lighter brown. I use a darker brown for my cheeks and my temples and my jawline. And then I use the lighter brown for contouring around my nose. Yeah, that looks really dark. But no worries, that'll all blend out. And with this smaller brush, I'm gonna go ahead and just do my nose and set that. And I'm cleaning up just a little bit. I kind of went a little too wide with the contour, rushing of course. So I'm just using some of that same Sacha Buttercup to go in and kind of chisel that line back out. So I don't want my nose look too harsh, but I do want it to be a little contoured. So I am straightening that line there. And now I'm going to go all over my face with my Makeup Forever, and I will put the color that it is down in the description box. And I'm just gonna lightly go over my highlighted areas. I don't want to tone that down as much, but I do want to blend and make everything a lot more cohesive. And right now I always get powder all up in my nose hair, so I'm just cleaning that out. So yeah, that's the reason that I keep doing that. Still checking for the time. Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna take that little flat dense brush. I'm gonna put a little bit of blue shadow right up under my eyelid, and not necessarily in my waterline, just kind of where my lashes are. And then I'm gonna go in with this pencil, and I'm gonna go into my waterline. And this is just a regular black. And I'm a crybaby when anything is in my eyes, so I don't do too much to the bottom, usually because I will tear up all over my makeup. So now I'm going in with some blush. And I'm sorry I didn't point out the shade. There it is, right on that end. And this is the darker of the shades that's there. And I'm using a little darker so that I don't have to use quite as much. So I want it to stand out. I kind of want it to blend with my shadow, but I don't want it too loud. So buffing that in. And then with this smaller brush, I'm gonna go in back with my powder and clean up right under my eyes because I had a little bit of fallout from that blue shadow. And that's my daughter I'm talking to. Only she would be twerking Sunday morning. Please forgive her, he's not done with her yet. And then with my e.l.f. setting spray, I'm gonna go ahead and set my face. And then with my volume accelerator mascara, I'm gonna go ahead and prep my lashes. And I'm gonna put some lashes on off camera. They're gonna be kind of thin, nothing too loud. Again, daytime look. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit of mascara to the actual false lashes. Okay, and lastly, I'm gonna go ahead and put on some of my Shine Bright highlight palette. And I love the shades in here. I actually have some highlight from Fenty as well. I think it's the Kilowatt that I have, but I didn't have time to grab it. So I just went ahead and used my trusty go-to palette. I use this all the time. So now to finish off the look, I'm going to use this red lip liner, and then I'm going to fill it in with a matte red lipstick. And after that, I am done. So I hope you loves enjoyed this tutorial. I hope to see you again in my future videos. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you love. And if you have any suggestions, let me know that as well. Again, see you soon. Bye-bye.